But I thought maybe they were just going to index into more aggression, more power, more lockdown onto this Zeri.
On the red side. We'll see how it goes as we hop onto the Rift for game 2.
Amount to anything but a ward. I just feel like this draft feels very D+, you know? And not in the fun part, but just in the aiming part. And on the side of B&K, it screams, we got to get a tempo advantage. As Raptor is going to come over here.
Lucid had a defensive ward, so he knows that Raptor does come in. There's a Hawk shot as well, which may not have seen Lucid, but it doesn't quite matter just because there's so much pressure here. Flash away from King, and actually very smart. I think if he gets hit there.
Side of the map as Moham and aiming are pushing these lanes freely. Notice that the CS is significantly in aiming's favor, as Hannah will stuff like that. Still was able to counter jungle incredibly well.
He still doesn't have a splashback, which he had to use early on in lane swap down in the bottom lane. Now Lucid is going to, with the help of Moham, take down the first Drake, but 3 Grubs did go over to B&K. Proactive, right? Still no kills here at 10 minutes, as now we're going to have a missed ult over the wall. The Maokai ult also coming over the wall, and now just a 1v1 between these two, and Clear has to flash the knockup, and the all-out coming in from the side of King, and he picks up first blood. As now Closer coming in with his own ultimate. No flash here for Kingen, so not the easiest spot for him. And should eventually be taken down. He's trying to trade here on a Closer. It's going to take quite a while to eventually take him down. And there they finally
get. Said Renekton, so very strong start here for B&K.
Yeah. On DK, and they don't want to let aiming and Showmaker just free farm here. So trying to get some other big wins on the map, and they should be able to take down this first blood turret in the top lane as well. It's going to be some gold given over to aiming.
Because that will be very, very important. Could be Infernal or Hextech with the Smolder.
Or Chemtech.
Probably not. Right?
Lucid?
Yeah, it's Hextech. So they're going over. That's made an impact in this game already, as we do have an all-out.
Yeah, all-out in the bottom lane. Here comes Lucid as well, just for insurance, I guess. I feel like Kingen might have also just been able to take him down. Here comes a TP a bit late from the Zeri, but now going in is Lucid. He's going to be able to pick up the kill, and Closer can't do much, but Kingen once again kind of in a really unfortunate spot, as he will go down eventually. Big rotation over from the side of B&K to trade it back.
Yeah, once he hits like up to 125, he's going to start sacking a lot faster, and then will end up being a big threat. But Closer does grab a bunch of gold down here of plates. As now plates expire, we'll also get a turret. So I was going to mention it earlier, but now
he's just going to continue building it. At least that's the build that Closer's going to go for. And I mean, at the end of the day, he's still going to be scaling up, and he's really going to be the big carry for the side of B&K in this later game. As Flap does come out, aiming does not have to cleanse, but a lot of damage done to him because he wanted to hold on to that. And the pressure in all these lanes, especially with the Rift Herald, also picked up here from the side of B&K. Gonna look to try to get a big chunk out of this mid-tier 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the Alistair in this one, crash it through. Enduro should be able to get out. Very difficult to punish this with the Rel in this situation with an aiming sitting on components.
Did you see that Moham didn't kill the Rift Herald because he wanted to give the 25 gold to aiming?
I don't know if it matters that much in this case, but you know, I love to see these little things. You know,
he's the gold king, and Showmaker might be the king of dying at this point. Doesn't know about the Renekton, has to flash, and he won't be the king.
Teleport. D+ still want to play around with this.
I mean, if they're going to give Lucid free entry onto this, he has his ult, and Duro's just going in, trying to zone by himself. Lucid still in the Drake, he smites it down, and they get the kill on a Raptor. Big knockup, though, and now the Zeri's going to go mad. It's Clear is also in the backline. A lot of empty targets here for B&K to try to go for. Meanwhile, Kingen trying to go 1v3, will get a kill, maybe a second one as the knockup comes in, and he will be denied a second one. As B&K will win the fight at the end of it all. But the Drake did go to DK.
Because of the lane swap, you also lose, okay, Raptor.
Yeah, Raptor's in a really awkward spot, pulled under the turret. Now, he's not alone, and so he just presses ult and leaves. And that's all that happens. Nothing else happens. The Lucid thinking about going for some kind of engage, as they were pretty deep in the jungle, but again, for DK, sitting back, scaling, they got another Drake. They don't want to fight unless it's perfect.
And without Raptor. Inherently, too, just shoving these waves into this inner.
Yeah. On the side of DK, by the way, they do have a couple of 2-item spikes on both of their AD carries, so while they don't have their Smolder quite online just yet, they're still pretty strong.
Yeah, and I mean, if you have a big Magnet Storm, that sometimes might just be enough to turn the tide of this fight with the Mom ultimate still relevant, even without those stacks. But it is very difficult to win this fight without an isolated target getting blown up first. And they just don't have the same setup with Equalizer in this draft that they did in game 1. So playing it very slow, very patient here as Kingen goes into the mid lane to clear the wave. But BNK not being decisive. And this composition is a little bit awkward without an arrow connecting.
They just want to try to gank clear. Aiming is frontlining against Renekton, and the rest of BNK, they're not doing the dragon, they're just running down to try to save him. And I don't think that's going to work. An arrow's going to come in, it hits the Maokai. And now you don't have your Renekton. Bit of damage does come in now, but now the pick onto Closer. He is so dead. 100-0. Down he goes. Immense pick comes out from Kingen. And now just the rest of them are just trying to run away. Lucid is probably going to give his life for this, and a lot of damage coming out from Henna, actually. But eventually, it's not clean, but it's still an ace from the side of DK, and it's 7k damage from Showmaker.
Yeah, that could just be the soul going over. They don't have a jungler, but I mean, there's no one to contest. Massive once again here in this game.
He's just a clutch master. That's what he does, and he's clutching it out again. Now Showmaker trying to go 1v1, but it's not 1v1. There's a croc, but Showmaker gonna get the kill anyway. It's actually Lucid Sapling that gets the kill. Meanwhile, this fight on the bottom side is totally messy. Henna's not even in it. As yes, Showmaker will bite the dust. There is an arrow to hit aiming, and he's just barely out of turret range. Double kill goes over to Clear, as this one is absolutely a mess, but they might still be able to take down Clear another turret. Henna still not here, he's just in mid lane. And will they get Clear? I guess not, but it's still going to be a one-team fight to DK.
Top turret. Meanwhile, over here,
yeah, trying to kill an Alistair, not the easiest target. He is going to go unbreakable as Closer here as well. Kingen is not unkillable, so he does have to back away. But a nice Scuttle Crab pick up there. Going to clear out all the vision around the Baron. And they do have an insane amount of Baron damage as well.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we're definitely in the we can rush Baron down territory as Lucid ults.
Yep, just going to zone them away. And with the Hextech Soul, I mean, Henna just doesn't get to play the game. He's getting poked down from screens away. Imagine trying to play Ashe into this. It's just not fair.
It is not fair. Aiming still hasn't hit his breakpoint, by the way, which is kind of insane as well. I don't know what he's sitting on.
Yeah, well,
Closer,
they're really trying to kill Moham here, and they might be able to. It looks very close. But eventually, he does go down. Kingen trying to frontline now, a little sleep on the Lucid. They want to get some kind of value out of this, but Kingen's still standing guard, and they're looking to turn this one around, RDK. As now another engage goes in on a Kingen, but Duro's just dead, and now the bouncing damage from the side of Aiming. They get the all out here on a Clear as finally 225 is hit, and Aiming is just running them down alongside of Showmaker, who is full health, and it's going to be another messy fight win to the side of DK.
They are likely about to lose the gold lead that they've had for this entire game. DK uncontested on this Baron. There's no vision here. There's nothing that a sad Lilia could do to come over here and look to steal.
Duro does have his ult available. Lucid, though, so tanky, and a big ult over the top, but Clear's got a nice angle. Isn't going to be enough. The damage, though, from the side of Smolder is just insane. Another lockdown comes in from Lucid as Henna is backlining, and he's dead. Well, that was confusing. Fear X are just going to run away as now Closer just trying to get out of this one, but he's going to be all outed as in goes the Cassante. It's a triple kill for Aiming. And they're looking for a bit more. That was an insane amount of damage from the Lilia, but it just doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And it looks like this might just be the beginning of the end. Two very, I mean, honestly, very easy team fights here for D+. I mean, the last one looked a little bit shaky at the beginning, but this Hextech Soul is paying off in dividends. And I mean, yeah, he took a long time to get his stacks, but Aiming, he's got 8 kills now. He is stacked, and they're going to end the game.
They're definitely trying to do so. Duro, I think, by himself, not really able to do much. He's slowed up again. He goes in. It's desperation, just trying to buy some time, and he will be able to do that, but the turrets and the wave are still alive. They'll take down both the Nexus turrets, and there's not much that BNK can do. Clear goes in. He dies, and Henna and Raptor are just zoned away. All the slows, all the ticking damage, and Henna just barely going to avoid that death. DK playing with their food because, well, they can. As in goes Raptor, and down goes Raptor, as does Closer. That's going to be the end of game 2, as D plus Kia took them a while, but once they hit their spike, they won the game.
Zeri going in, Closer ults, and then Kingen flashes and picks him off. there's some really clutch fights for D+, and then they're immediately just in the driver's seat for the rest of the way. I mean, you could see very clearly around 24 minutes when they started to get a little bit more control, then bam, they win those critical fights, get the Baron, and then there's a huge spike in the gold, and D+ just run it down to the Nexus and blow it up.
Hextech Soul and Corky and Smolder, 30 minutes into the game with the Maokai.